Hi everyone, it's Marc Lapointe here, and this is the In-Session Extra. So this is where I offer, all my musings on things I've read or watched and how they relate to the education of your child. So, not so long ago, my wife and I were watching the evening news, and they featured a story about fake news. So maybe you've heard about this phenomenon. It's fictional news stories. They're written and they're posted online, and usually through sites that have the look and feel of, a legitimate news site. So there was a lot of talk, you might remember, a lot of talk about fake news stories during the recent U.S. presidential campaign. But what was really interesting about the story was that they interviewed a number of people who believe that fake news stories were the real deal. Okay, so hear me out here. These stories have zero truth, no sources, no facts, nothing. Yet here were people saying that they actually trusted the integrity of these fake news stories. Then they interviewed the founder of one of these fake news sites, and he admitted in no uncertain terms that the stories on his sites were made up, not a shred of truth. And why? Well, because his stories attracted thousands upon thousands of readers, and in turn he made a good deal of money by monetizing the stories. He monetized the site. Then the next day I came across a blog. It was posted by a guy named Michael Fordham. I'll post a link in the show notes. And it was titled, The Long Road to Critical Thinking Against the Quick Fix. So his post addressed the whole fake news phenomenon, but the gist of his article was this. So the best way for students, or really any person for that matter, to successfully analyze the truth of a news story is to have a well of real knowledge to draw upon. So to have a lot of knowledge. And you see, even the most educated and with it people that we know, they can be duped. Because it can be hard sometimes to actually figure out if a news story is based on facts and actual events. So if a person doesn't even know much, if anything, about an event, a time in history, and other kinds of relevant information, then they're going to have an even harder time deciphering the accuracy and truthfulness of what they're reading. So here's my point. Our education system, it can go on and on about notions like, collaboration, discovery, conceptual understanding, pretty much any idea that encourages kids to think critically without actually and directly providing them with the knowledge they need to critically think. So when I say knowledge, I mean things like facts and procedures. All the stuff that so-called education experts tell us are boring and meaningless to kids. Yet how can we possibly expect any student to think critically if he or she knows nothing of the topic they're analyzing or discussing? To think critically is to have the ability to offer a viewpoint based on a solid grasp of the facts. So without that knowledge, their view, the student's view, have no more worth than, pure speculation or even gossip. So you see, the idea that critical thinking is a skill, yeah, it's really a red herring. I may like to think that I'm a skilled critical thinker, but you know what? If I lack facts and knowledge in a certain subject, how deep is my understanding or well-reasoned would my thoughts be on that matter? And that's where our schools in general get it backwards. Critical thinking does not precede knowledge. It doesn't come before knowledge. It's the other way around. So as parents, we shouldn't buy into this backwards approach to education. Facts and procedures form the foundation for authentic critical thought. And here's the great part. As parents, we can expose our kids to all kinds of knowledge. We can have them read about history, culture, current events. We can have them watch documentaries. The sky is the limit. Then we can watch as they intelligently engage more and more in what they read and watch. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.